And the instrument track will never work in other different type of tracks. I'm gonna show you real quick. So it's very easy to patch it up. Over here, this particular keyboard, there is a settings over here. So can you see this?
Mm-hmm.
So it has to be checked on USB, which is the right hand side. Okay, and merge, you don't really need to care about this. The MIDI inputs, outputs, we are not using that at all. It's only this. I think this is a Type B USB. All right, the in is over here. So this thing can be powered by just the USB. You don't need a power out inlet as well. So you don't need any adapter or anything. So one good thing about Mac's keyboard is you can always tap it from here. All right. So you can see once you tap it in,
it's on.
Yeah,
it's
on. Yeah, it's actually quite amazing to have
a Mac.
Now, can any of these functions on top here, can they be like,
synchronized?
Can somebody like hit a button here and create a problem for the next group that comes in?
Well, sometimes they might be, but
let me put it another way. Is there any
buttons over here?
Is there any reason why the students would want or need to adjust anything here if they're using this as a MIDI keyboard?
Well, partial of the effects over here, it's not really I would say the whole spots over here, it's not really synchronizing with the Pro Tools software, because there are buttons that they can't communicate with each other.
Okay, so really all of these are disabled for the most part.
Yeah, I would
there
say
shouldn't be any
50-50.
reason. Okay.
Yeah. So should there be any reason, just remove the power and punch it back in, everything should be normal.
So as soon as you power down, it resets to neutral.
Yeah.
Okay.
This thing will always reset itself back to its default state. So once this is lit up, you can go back to here, and always remember this is a stereo track, so you have to go insert. We have to insert some effects into here, so you just go multi-channel. I'm gonna print screen this, and then there you go. You can see instrument, right? And then let's see. Oh, sorry. Instrument. Let's say I'm gonna go for boom. So boom is actually a looping sound effects or tracks that you can always use. So you have to select this, and it will take some time to load. Yeah, it should be fine. So remember to press this track record enable button. If not, you won't have any sound at all.
Okay.
Okay, but you have signals, and you can't record, but you will have to. So press and hold. There you go, a loop. Right.
If you hit it,
Yep.
so you hit different keys, you get different loops.
Yeah. These are individual buttons, but the loops are somewhere around here. Yeah. The loops, it's on this region itself, the central region, and you can always press and mix different loops. You can see the pattern difference over here.
So boom is one of the software inside the
Pro Tools.
Mac.
Pro Tools.
So it's not really from the layout from this, right?
No, this is just a tool.
It's quite the same. So
They communicate.
communicate.
Yeah, in that way. Okay.
So guitar also the same, but then you have to plug guitar.
Yeah.
Okay, understand.
You can do a lot of recordings.
Well, when you say guitar, do you mean like electric guitar or acoustic guitar?
You can go straight in with
but are you talking about making the sound using MIDI, or are you talking about the actual instrument?
Actual instrument.
Both.
Okay,
MIDI and
well,
actual instrument.
you can use the filters. There's a filter here that allows you to select different music. So when you hit
But
the
using this
keyboard,
one-
it'll sound like the piano,
Okay.
or it'll sound like the guitar, or it'll
Right.
sound like the flute section of an orchestra.
I see.
Yep.
So that's just choosing which insert you want to use.
Alright, cool.
The coolest effect that we have in Pro Tools is what we call expand. So in Expand, it's a really complex sound effects. You can
I
have
want to
like
know
So
what
you,
this-
you can add in like the guitars. There's your
Alright,
guitars.
cool. Drum also, right?
yeah, you have
Oh,
drums as
cool.
well.
Mhm.
This is the 56 Stratocaster from Fender. And
This is guitar, right?
The-
So the whammy bar does work. That's good.
Wow, this
Yeah.
is the cups.
the tremolo. Yeah.
Now that would actually be a type of phasing effect, right? When you use the whammy bar.
Yeah.
Okay.
The flanger kind of thing, like a flanger vibrator.
More of a flanger. Okay.
This is pitch down, pitch up,
hmm
left to right.
And
pitch
you can
up.
actually apply that to any of the sounds.
Yeah. You can get all in creativity by playing all of this. There's only one thing that I also want to remind is the recording for instrument track. Let's say this is in instrument. I'm gonna change both at the same color. Wait, hang on. At some point, this mouse is really
Annoying.
It's really bad when like it rolls over its own chord.
Yeah.
And you're just like, what the hell?
Exactly. So right now, what I want to say is over here. If I'm gonna record like let's say this. So by default, numpad 3. Okay. So let's say everything it's ready to roll, and you have this. This button has to be in blanking mode, which means that it's on standby.
Seems like test cam.
Yeah, exactly. So once you press this, sorry, what's going on? Okay, once you press, wait. Ah,
It become
okay.
three.
You see.
Because you highlight that now.
I'm at my command box,
Ah.
which means that it's not communicating. Okay, right now, press, and you can see the numbers rolling,
That is recording.
and you can see this bar, and it's recording as well. Okay, transmit this. So you will have like. You see all those bars? It's actually quite difficult to understand, and it's very hard to edit this.
Oh
Let's
yeah?
just go back here.
So those are actual MIDI notes. That's the input that it's
Yeah.
receiving,
Oh.
which
Yeah.
is telling how hard he hit the keys, when the keys were hit.
Exactly. And what's the notes out of it? I'm not really a music person, but you can see why I say MIDI is such a hard format to carry on. It's at some point it's I feel like this is kind of like a very alienated thing to me. So I always want to transform this into waves form so I can actually edit it in an easier manner. The consistency on others. So I will always bus this signal out. Okay, I'm gonna show you what a bus is. A bus is actually a transport to another track, which means that I'm just gonna bus this to, let's say I like bus 1 and 2. It's in stereo. Sorry, I did a mistake over here. Real quick. 1 in stereo. Yeah.
Because the initial instrument track that he did was
In
mono.
Yeah.
So busting 1 and 2 to mono would have had would have created a problem.
Yeah. So this.
Would it create a problem, or would it just simply like compress
it's
the
just-
information
it's
into a
just
single
gonna-
channel?
Yeah. It's just compressing into a mono channel.
Got it.
Yeah. So right now, I'm just gonna bus this signal into here. So Shafiq, this is what we call an I/O, which means that input output. The upper column is input, the lower column is output. So essentially, the outputs will always end up in the speakers, all right, and
Zax.
always the masters is always ended up in the speakers as well. But so, what Zax speakers?
The speakers.
We can change that later. They name their speakers for their names. All right. Over here. So this signal, I want it to travel into here and record here, right? So I'm just gonna. This input is no longer the microphone, because we need to take what's from the bus. We have to receive it. So it's like a customs. center, then you like want to chop the passport over here, then this is the, you want to allow bus 1, 2 in. So you have to record both at the same time. You don't have to record this. Let's say you want to bus this signal down over here, you just have to start here. Okay. So this is what I meant to actually bus that signal down.
You just press record, then it auto record, then put it on the bus too, right?
Yeah. You just create a transport. Then you see, I love to see waves more than those dots. I don't know what that means at some point. So okay. So the input outputs is like that over here.